Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you truly sat in silence? No music, no notifications, no scrolling, just you. Most people can't even sit in silence for 5 minutes without reaching for their phones, turning on a podcast, or talking just to fill the space. But here's the truth. Silence isn't empty. Silence is full of answers. We live in a world where noise is everywhere. Everyone wants to speak. Everyone wants to be heard. Everyone wants to react. But the real strength, the rare kind, lies in the one who can sit back, observe, and say nothing, because silence is power. Let me tell you a story. There was a monk in the Himalayas. He had taken a vow of silence. People from around the world would travel to see him, hoping to hear a word of wisdom. But he never spoke. He simply listened. And yet those who met him said they walked away feeling lighter, clearer. Why? Because in his silence, they heard themselves. You see, silence does three things. It exposes the truth. It builds inner strength. And it gives you control. Let's talk about the first one. 1. Silence exposes the truth. You don't need to confront people to know who they are. Just stay silent and watch. When you're silent, you see what others miss. You see what's fake and what's real. People reveal themselves when you stop revealing everything about yourself. Have you ever noticed how someone gets uncomfortable when you're quiet in a conversation? They rush to fill the silence. They over-explain. They confess things they didn't mean to. Why? Because most people aren't used to someone who listens more than they speak. But when you master the art of silence, you become a mirror. And that scares people, because in your quiet presence they begin to see themselves. Think of the people you admire most, not the loud ones trying to impress the room, but the ones who command it by saying nothing at all. The confident walk into the room and don't need to prove themselves, because they've already proven it to themselves. Their silence says, I know who I am, I don't need to explain it to you. 2. Silence builds inner strength. Let's be honest. Silence is uncomfortable. That's why most people avoid it. They equate silence with awkwardness, with loneliness, with being boring. But here's the truth. If you can't sit in silence with yourself, you haven't really met yourself. It's in silence that your real thoughts come up. The doubts, the pain, the past. And most people are terrified of that. So they drown it with noise. But the few who embrace silence, they become unshakable, because they face what others run from. There's a moment in every strong person's life when they had to sit in silence and say, I need to heal. I need to let go. I need to figure out who I really am. That's the kind of silence that turns into growth. That's the kind of silence that turns pain into wisdom, because it's not avoidance. It's awareness, and that awareness, that quiet realization, becomes your greatest strength. 3. Silence gives you control. In a world of chaos, the one who can stay calm wins. Think about arguments. Most people raise their voice to feel powerful, but have you ever seen someone remain calm while the other person is yelling? Who looks more powerful, the one yelling? Or the one unbothered? Exactly. Silence is control. It's choosing not to react. It's choosing peace over ego. And listen, sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's mercy. You could destroy someone with what you know, but you choose not to. That's real control. Examples? Sure. Remember that toxic ex who tried to provoke you? Your silence? That's what killed them inside. Remember when your coworker gossiped about you? You stayed silent, and they exposed themselves. Remember when someone tried to bait you into drama online? You didn't respond, and your silence spoke louder than any reply ever could. Let's go deeper. Silence in relationships. Silence teaches you when to walk away. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every insult deserves a comeback. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. You don't need to chase closure. You don't need to explain why you're leaving. You just go. Silently. Because peace is louder than proof. And if someone can't handle your silence, they were never meant to handle your presence. Silence in decision-making. Think of all the mistakes you've made because you reacted too quickly. Because you let your emotions speak before your mind could think. Silence gives you space to pause, to reflect, to respond, not react. That's where wisdom lives. The most powerful decisions are made in stillness, not in panic, not in noise, but in quiet confidence. Silence in self-discovery. Want to know who you are? Turn everything off. Sit in silence. Let the discomfort come, and then let it pass. Eventually you'll hear something. Not a voice from outside, but from within. That's your intuition. That's your soul. And it doesn't shout. It whispers. But most people can't hear it, because they never sit still long enough. Let me be honest with you. Some of the most powerful moments of my life happened in silence, sitting alone after a heartbreak, feeling every bit of pain, without distractions, and then realizing I'll be okay. Sitting alone in my room when everyone had left, and learning how to be my own best friend. Taking a walk with no music, no phone, just the sound of my footsteps and my thoughts. And finally understanding what I truly wanted in life. That's not weakness. That's rebirth. People think silence is passive, but it's not. It's intentional. It's saying, I'm not wasting my energy on things that don't matter. It's saying, I don't need to prove anything to you. It's saying, I've learned the art of holding back. So what should you take away from this? That silence isn't just a pause. It's a presence. It's the space between chaos and clarity. It's the moment before the breakthrough. It's where you meet your true self, without masks, without noise, without fear. Start practicing silence daily, not just the kind where you don't talk, but the kind where you don't react, the kind where you don't explain yourself, the kind where you don't chase closure, the kind where you don't overshare your dreams with people who won't understand them. Silence is your shield. It protects your peace. It guards your energy. And most of all, it reminds you that you are enough. You don't need noise to be noticed. You don't need approval to feel valid. You don't need to explain your path to those who don't walk it with you. Let me leave you with this. The next time someone disrespects you, stay silent. The next time life tests your patience, stay silent. The next time you're unsure of what to do, go somewhere quiet and listen. Not to the world, not to your doubts, but to yourself. Because the one who listens more, learns more, and the one who speaks less, holds more power. Remember this. Lions don't roar at every bark. The sun doesn't fight for attention. And silence. Silence doesn't beg to be understood. It just is. And in that lies the deepest power you'll ever know. Pause. So if you're ever lost, don't speak. Don't scroll. Don't panic. Just be silent and let your soul speak.